Hello, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. This is your first time on my live. I am Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated. As above, so below. This is Wednesday, my Bible study day. Mercurial energy. To each and every one of you guys, you got to forgive me because I'm retired, and so when you retire, you ain't in a rush to go to nowhere, and you ain't in a rush to actually go come from somewhere. So a lot of times my things that I talk about on this platform are for melanated people. First of all, I want to say salutations to my Madrina, to my Padrino, to my Oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in E5, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Christian, Ajays, those that have left the church, probably for good reason, and for those that are in the church practicing the ATRs. On this channel, I really focus on melanated people and how real magic works. So I do not teach my personal beliefs or my personal practices. I teach universal laws because universal laws are applicable to each and every one of us. I've been doing magic since I've been 3 to 4 years old, let my mother say it. And I'm 52, about to be 53 in December. I'm a Sagittarius. My moon is Aries, and my rising sign is Pisces. And why that is significant, because if you don't know your own energy, frequency, and vibration, you're going to end up lost in the sauce, whether you're in any of the ATRs. A lot of times people get lost in groups because they don't know their personal identity. We're in the age of Aquarius, and Aquarius promotes individuality. A lot of black people do not have the capacity mentally or emotionally to remain who they are, no matter what they get involved in. And rise and shine, thank you so much. Thank you for the likes. When it comes to magic, spirituality, and conjure, a lot of times people don't realize that the way they think and the way they feel is energy, frequency, and vibration. And they feel like if they wear the right oils or right crystals, they're going to get certain manifestations. You as the individual, you have to align yourself individually with what you want to live in this reality. No matter. Thank you so much for the roses. Now I want to talk about a subject matter because on Bible study days, I have a YouTube channel that I really am able to articulate issues regarding black people and black melanated people when it comes to conjure, mysticism, and melanin magic. On TikTok, I try to stress knowledge, wisdom, understanding without being a Sagittarius. It's very hard to be authentic on this particular platform. So I'm going to get into what I want to talk about. Acting your age. A lot of people, and especially black people, do not understand the significance of acting your age. The things that you learn in each decade, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, and so forth. Each decade allows you to learn, develop, and acquire certain tools, knowledge, wisdom, and experiences. And when I say that, I don't care if you're in the church reading your Bible, you cannot develop in a ATR or a time of frame of life when you are rejecting progression, when you're rejecting growth. How do I say this? The reason why I have COVID, I'm 52 years old, about to be 53. The reason why I've been able to weather the storm of COVID and not have the damage that a lot of people my age have with COVID, because I am prepared in my home to have the necessary things that a 52-year-old would have. And I accommodate myself with certain herbs, certain technology. I think I'm going on about 12 days. I actually sell these X39. These are stem cells, and if you know biology, I believe in biology and science, even though I practice the ATRs because I think they complement each other. Sir and ma'am, there's no way that you're going to be prepared for certain age groups when you are refusing to be 40. You're still trying to maintain that era in your life that you were when you're in 20s. I know that black people don't like to hear this. The reason why you can't be the grandmother or the grandfather or the great grandmother is because when you were supposed to be learning in those particular decades, you were trying to be something else. You would never be prepared for your destiny. You would never be prepared for the challenges that your life will bring, because you don't understand why you need to be doing certain things at a certain time in your life. You should be at a point of saying, been there and done that. Now you should be perfected in Psalm 23. Now you should be perfected in Psalm 91. And then teaching the younger generation how to weather those storms a lot faster, a lot more proficient, and a lot more effective. But you can't give somebody something you don't have. I may look young to most people, but I never allow a compliment to confuse me about where I really am. I'm going to say that again. I don't care if you look good for your age. You still have to remain in the mindset of that decade, because that decade is going to prepare you for the next decade. I got, once I turn 53, I have 7 more years before I'm 60. In my 50s, I'm going to develop my gifts, my talents, and my abilities, my economics, that will prepare me for my 60s. The reason why, let me tell y'all something, even if you marry young, you guys are not in the same cycle. Growth is about understanding who you are and not being a liability because you're not learning. All right, there, my Cancer. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of times, when you don't want to act your age, you don't want to listen. I'm going to say that again. There's information that people share, whether in the medical field or just in life general, that there's information that you need, but because you're not acting your age, you let it go into one ear and out the other. And one thing that I've learned through the years, when I don't get what I need, I only hurt myself. This is why when you're at a certain age, you already accept that people, no matter where you are, what you have accomplished, they're going to choose what is, in their mind, what is needful. And these are the same people, like the 5 fools, that they're going to ask you. This is what happens when mothers don't do what they're supposed to do in their age. Then they have to handicap their daughters and their sons. Whether it's in a lot of y'all blaming the church and blaming the ATRs and root work and conjure for things that none of these practices have anything to do. When you don't realize where you are in your life, then you can't teach your daughters or your sons what they need in life. When you're out here as a child having children, when I say acting your age, you can be young and trying to be too grown. You can be older yet trying to act younger. Acting your age prepare you. What's up, Tree Ronda, Aries, and House? These things, what a lot of black people blame the church, what you really should be blaming is your parents. Because if your parents were acting their age, then there's certain information they would have access to. There would be certain experiences that they can shed light on. When the daughter is going out with the mother, how can she teach her how to act like a lady when she's not acting like one? When the daughter and the mother are going after the same man, because the mother has to prove to herself and her daughter that she still got it. Good morning, Chief. Listening while I work. I know y'all know I believe in making that cheddar. A lot of things that have nothing to do with hoodoo. A lot of things don't have to do with Christianity. It's the development of the family tree, ancestral. I can help my children because I act my age. When I'm around my sons and even their classmates say, when they say, "Oh, this is my dad," and their classmates say, "Your dad? That's not your dad. Your brother, maybe, but not your dad." I'm a Sagittarius. We love compliments. At no time am I going to function outside of my age, because some man or some young man or woman complimented me. A lot of black people allow compliments to cause them to act outside of their age, and therefore they can't be the example that their sons and daughters need. There are certain things that I can show my children how to weather racism, how to grow in their prospective companies, how to have a business, because I'm not in competition with my sons. I want to talk about this. I don't hinder my children with my spiritual gifts because I am in competition and I want to remain young. There's a difference between being youthful. I have an Aries moon. There's a difference, certain ma'am, no matter what your spiritual practice is, versus you being youthful versus you acting young. I have people that I am trying to give knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to. But the reason why they can't hear me is because they're not acting their age. I always tell people, I say, listen, you in your 30s, this is what you need to be focused on. You're in your 40s, this is what you need to be focused on. You're 70 years old, why can't you do this? You're 80 years old, why you can't do this? Because you're never going to prepare for your version of yourself in certain age groups if you're not acting your age. I'm not going to wait till I get 60 to prepare. I'm preparing for my 60s and my 50s. This is what happens when black men and women are ahead of the game. You can get ahead of the game by acting your age. The reason why you're constantly getting into it with young people because you're not acting your age. A lot of black people in these ATRs act as though they never were 20. They never experienced their 30s. A lot of the disrespect that aged men and women receive has a lot to do with them not acting their age. They're trying to commingle instead of inspiring, instead of enlightening, instead of giving the younger generations more tools to navigate, because I done been 20. And there's certain things that you're gonna do regardless. I don't care if you're an Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, or Ajay. It don't matter. You in your 20s. There's a certain mentality that you have in your 20s. The conjurer, the mystic, the Ajay that I was, because I was born with my gift. The mindset that I have, my mom used to tell, my mom's a Virgo. She used to tell me all the time, I can't tell you water wet. I can't tell you the sky blue. I can't tell you Duke is stink. We done all been in that stage of a know-it-all. We can't hear none of that. We can't decipher for somebody trying to give us solid advice because we got things to prove. When you're in a certain age group, and even if you're talented, you're still not respecting why rules and regulations apply. We done all did that. I don't care. And when you're an aged man and aged woman of the craft and these practices, you need to consider your student. You need to consider where they are in life. You need to have the necessary patience for those that are developing in certain age groups. And then you need to get on the ISIS of those that are of age and should be at certain places. And now they're trying to cause confusion. These are the people that are like the Sadducees and the Pharisees. These are the men and women in these ATRs. They're not going to go through the door, but they're going to try to block as many as they can from entering into the door. Some of you guys are lying about you're protecting the craft. You're jealous that you have squandered your time like the prodigal son. You realize that you've gotten older, that there's certain things you should be there. What's up, Mama Susan? And you should be at certain spaces and places. Let me tell y'all something. When a man or woman is acting their age, they don't have a problem with your growth. They don't have a problem with your development. My padrino is 31 years of age. He just had a birthday October the 18th. I'm 52, about to be 53. I don't let that young man tell me what I got time to do. He can talk like that because he in his 30s. I must be about my father's business. Because I don't care how good I look for my age. I don't care how well I take care of myself. I'm still 52. And I'm on these stem cells because I need help to recover because I'm not in my 20s. When I was in my 20s, I can go to work, hoe up all night long, and be up ready to rumble for work. Now I got to get a nap. I got to get a nap before, and I got to get a nap afterward. I got to drink water, even though I don't like water. I have to do things to complement my body that has had 52 years. And if I want to be able to house these spirits, if I'm going to be able to channel these spirits, if I'm going to be able to properly hold the power of the Orishas, my next ceremony, I will be receiving Oduduwa. I'm 52 years older. The same organs that these spirits utilized when I was doing these same ceremonies in my 20s, the body ain't the same. So I have to build my body up. And because somebody else is younger, is coming along, if I was a hater and not a congratulator, I would block, hinder, or misguide. See, a lot of the things that many of you guys are getting information are from people that have refused to act their age. And it's not that they don't know the truth. They're not going to tell you. This is why my platform is here. Because I want you to be able to verify. I need you to be able to confirm. I need you to be able to understand the mouthpiece. My mom used to always tell me and my sister to consider the source. When you got an old bitch trying to be a young bitch, she danger to you. I don't care if she in hoodoo, voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, a Christian woman. I don't care if she's a prostitute. She's a danger to you because she see you as competition. When an older man and a older woman see the younger generation as a threat, they are a danger to our community. It is what it is. Because you're not where you need to be. And therefore, younger people that are doing their thing, you are intimidated by that. But you're not going to say that because you're an old coon. And you're going to use certain scenarios. And you're going to, let me tell y'all something. I would not help my sons if I was not acting my age. Because I would see my sons as a threat to me. When you got older men and women in conjure going after the same age bracket of their children, that's an issue. Now you're doing root work on your son or your daughter, trying to apprehend the same type of man or the same type of woman. You're not going to help younger people excel in these practices because you are yourself, you're graveling and you're having issues with your age. Ain't nobody in heaven, in earth, or under the earth gonna make Apostle Samuel Jr. not act his age. No matter a compliment, everything I'm going through right now with COVID, I have excelled in recovery. And the reason why I excelled in recovery is not just my gifts. It was my mindset. I knew what I needed to do because I knew how old I was. I knew what kind of rest I needed. I knew to look for. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of y'all are in certain age groups. And people telling you about when you get to a certain age to check for certain things. You ignore it. If you got a 5-year-old car, 10-year-old car, you have to handle that differently when you have a brand new car. What's up, my cane maker? My birthday girl, we have the same birthday. I'm always ready for whatever I have to deal with. Because I don't even believe that 20-year-old version of me. Thank you, sweetheart. The 20-year-old version of me would have never went through the things that the 52-year-old version of me would have went through with the same virus. Because my body was producing a lot of things on its own. When you are here conjuring and you're praying, your body does not have certain things and it's pulling from you. And that's why the older you get, you have to have certain supplements. The reason why you can't think correctly, because you don't have the certain supplement to balance your hormones. When you were a younger woman, you didn't have to balance your hormone. Your pH was at a certain level. But now that you're older, and this is why I tell black melanated women, the older you get, you lack calcium, bone structure. And in your bones are your red blood cells and also your stem cells. And so therefore, by supplementing your diet with certain things, your body can repair a lot quicker. So when you go through certain stresses, when you go through certain prayer or you fasting, see, the way you used to fast in your 20s gonna hit your body different fasting in your 60s. Because if you're not giving your body certain supplements, then it's going to take from your body instead of adding to. So fasting can hurt you more as you get age. Participating in certain ceremonies can hurt you. We lost my grandmother at 59 because I didn't know this at the time, but she had a pacemaker. My family has money, so she paid out of pocket to get this surgery, and she was doing this ceremony. To gain certain powers because of what our family was up against. But her body was not able to hold what she was summoning. If you are in the ATRs and you are an aged man or an aged woman, you have to take care of yourself. And if you're not teaching younger people that you can call on the same Jehovah Jireh in your 20s, and that same Jehovah Jireh will hit your body quite differently in your 50s, in your 60s, in your 70s. This is why you prepare for your age. This is why in my back here, I got all kind of huge crystals. Because I don't want, when I have certain crystals that I have extraterrestrial energy, I have certain crystals that I house certain types of energy, frequency, and vibration. Because I'm older. I'm like Fiona on the Coven. When you get to a certain age, don't make me exert myself. I have certain crystals that if I get down, that I can go to those crystals and draw energy from those crystals. I'm not that whippersnapper in my 20s, my 30s. When you don't act your age, you're not prepared to what you're going through. You don't prepare economically. You don't prepare emotionally. Because you can't prepare for something when you're not acting your age. You can't associate with people. See, I don't have time. A lot of people think I'm getting meaner as I get older. No, I just don't have time to play games. I don't have time for you to send mixed signals. I don't have time for you to play like you trying to do something. I'm at an age, either you want to go to the movies or not. Either you want to go out to dinner or not. Either you want to have sex or not. I don't have time to play all these head games. You know what you want to do from what you don't do. You at a certain age. You want me to look at you like you in your 20s. Like you still trying to find yourself. You know what you want to do and you know what you don't want to do. And one thing that irks me when somebody is older than me, it irks me when an older man or older woman play fool. I have no freaking respect for a aged man, a aged woman to play like you living in an episode that I'm trying to get to. And if I got enough sense at 52, I know you got sense at 60 and 70 and 80. And when you find an older man or woman playing games at their age, they are trash. They may be an elder, but they are trash. And those people would deliberately hinder your growth. Those people should be in position to help and support you. I'm going to say it again. The people that are around me, I'm always advancing them because I don't have a problem with their growth. I don't have a problem if they're in business with me and they excel me. Baby, you young. Thank you so much for tapping that stream. A lot of y'all think that church is a problem. The ATR, Ifa, Voodoo, it's not that. It's when you got people in the ATRs that are not acting their age. When an older man, instead of trying to raise you as a goddaughter or a godson, he want to have sex with you because he wants to feel young again. He knows the proper protocols, but he's not going to do that because he's not acting his age. I've had younger men and women say things to me. I'm not biting. I'm not biting. I don't need my mama to talk to me. I don't need my sister to talk to me. I don't need my children to talk to me because I'm not going to do it in the first place. Is anybody hearing me? When you, as a spiritualist, are not acting your age, how can you really teach anybody how to function in these particular age groups? You're trying to get along with younger women. You're trying to get along with younger men. I know that when your testosterone is heaping up in your body, that you want to prove some things to me. I'm an older lion. I'm an older bull. I'm an older alligator. I'm an older python snake. I understand you want to kill because you want to show your strength. I'm only going to kill because you getting in my way and you causing me unnecessary struggle. And I ain't got time for that. See, the wisdom that you acquire by acting your age, the nectar that you achieve by acting your age allows you not only to advance in your age group, but also allow you to be an enlightenment to the younger generation. It's nothing wrong with hoodoo. It's nothing wrong with voodoo. It's nothing wrong with Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, Kabbalah. It's something wrong with us. When we should be in a place to help the younger generation fight stronger. You got the strength. That's on your side. I'm powerful, but you got the strength. I'm wise, but you got the strength. When the younger people don't want to listen to older people, it's simply because you want to be where I am. And the only way you're going to get where I am, you got to keep living. I'm going to say that again. There's a reason why you got the maiden, the crone, and the virgin. There's different phases. There's situations. Instead of Fiona training the next supreme, she was trying to hold on power. That's the same thing about white supremacy. When it's your time is up, you got to pass that baton. And when you don't pass that baton, you hurt the whole team. I'm going to say it again. I'm not an old man. I'm a middle-aged man. I'm going to say it again. I'm not an old man. I'm a middle-aged man. And I act my age. And people keep wondering why I excel in my spirituality. Why I'm still relevant. Why younger people, older people, why people, because I'm going to spew out the information based on my age and my experience. When I was coming up in the ministry, I kept hearing prophecies about do not let anybody despise my age. People were saying that I wasn't prepared for certain things, not because I wasn't qualified spiritually, but because of my age. Because they didn't understand I was being raised up by elders. I was being taught by elders. I was being an individual that was being developed and empowered by elders. And you were not going to be able to compete with me because I was being guided by elders. I was never a young man in magic out there doing stuff. I had a spiritual father at the age of 13. I was still being guided by my mother, my grandmother, by my family members. A lot of y'all don't understand. Yes, there are young people that are young, but they are equipped because the elders are the ones that are guiding them. Anything spell I did, I always went back to my spirit dad. Let him look over there. Did I do that right? Some of y'all and y'all up in your 60s and 70s and you still don't know what's right from wrong. You still don't know what's good for you. You still trying to prove points. At one point in your life that there's no points to prove. You just doing you, boo-boo. I know my destiny. I know why God has equipped me. I know what lane I'm in, and I stay in that lane. And I'm not going to let you cause me to speed. And I'm not going to let you cause me to have an accident. Acting your age in any form of magic protects you. Acting your age in any form of conjure protects you. This is why when I see young people come up in the ATRs, I'm always admonishing them to show respect. Because I would not be here where I am today without respect. My grandmother always used to say, respect will take you where money cannot take you. Things that come out your mouth should make sense. When you're still at a certain age competing with other women, you have not found yourself. Because at a certain age, you realize that nobody can do you. You are authentically who you are. And the only person that you're in competition with should be yourself. In development, evolvement. When you are out there still trying to compete, you have your own market. I told them people when I came in here, I'm not here to do what you're trying to do. The reason why you see me as a threat is because you don't know who you are. And no matter how much they keep saying, he really not doing what we doing in Palo. He really not doing what we doing in Ocha. You trying to see me as a threat because I'm in the same tradition. It's because you don't know who you are. See, you don't understand that I have been taught by the elders. And so I know it's better to be proactive than reactive. So I'm not going to wait and push off today for tomorrow. I'm not in a rush for power. I'm trying to do what my mama told me as a child. It's best to have a tool and not need it, and to need it and not have it. I'm only following my elders. I'm trying to get in position that I'm getting older. I'm the eldest child on my mother's side, and I am, I think, the third oldest on my daddy's side. Minus any child that ain't surfaced yet. Mama's baby, daddy's baby. Same concept. So, but I'm at a certain age bracket that my younger sisters and siblings are going to expect certain things out of me. And I need to be in position. There are certain things that I'm going to have to guide them because I've been there and done that. And everything is not about a candle. Everything is not about incense. I have to, a lot of times I have to check my sister because she acting like my mother. I say, you want to be by yourself? Keep pulling them stunts. No, I'm ready to be soft. No. You saying that because you're a Gemini. But your action, because Gemini is a masculine energy. Sagittarius, Aquarius, women are masculine energy. And I don't care how much they try to play soft, they not soft. And sometimes the point is, you ain't meant to be. Stop trying to compare yourself with other women that they have that naturally, like Cancers, like Capricorn women. They have receptive energy. They have feminine energy naturally. You don't. But it doesn't make you no more or no less than a woman. But you should know that at your age. You shouldn't feel threatened because you're a masculine woman. I was listening to Leslie, the comedian, and she's a very aggressive, loud woman. But you got so many tender dicks out here that they can't appreciate a woman like that. This is why, as a child of Oya, you can't deal with children of Oya, because Oya is going to go to battle with Shango. She's not going to sit there as a damsel in distress. She going to get her sword and she going to summon her powers. And she, just like Shango going to be in the sky with thunder and lightning, Oya is going to be right there. And just like he going to be slaying his enemy, she going to be slaying her. There's women out here are not created for the backstream. That's what was wrong with y'all perception with Kamala Harris. Like I say, it's not politics. You don't want to see a woman that doesn't want to be humble. That's the whole concept about Lilith. She was not going to walk behind Adam. And a lot of people don't even know what that is. it's talking about electrons, protons, and neutrons. But anyway, we're going to stick with the story. The first wife of Adam was Lilith. She was not made to be submissive. She was equal goddess, just like he was equal God. And when you can't accept those type of women, that's not their problem. But the women that are like that, when you have gotten to a certain age and you're still trying to humble yourself and dim your light, that's not a man problem. That's a you problem. You should never have to diminish yourself in order to be with somebody. If you're a diva or you're a goddess, you're an empress, walk in your stuff. Pop your shit. King Solomon was not intimidated by the Queen of Sheba. And vice versa. She was not intimidated by King Solomon. You don't have to not be who you are in order for people. And that's what happened in that debate that Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, had. They didn't see her smarts. They didn't see that she was factual. They did not see that she was able to fact check. They did not see that she was perceptive about what he would do in office. They didn't see none of that. They saw a black woman whooping the literal shit out of a white man. And all the men that represent that energy was never going to vote for a woman like that. It ain't about Donald Trump. It ain't about white supremacy. It's about weak ass men that do not and cannot comprehend the energy, frequency, and vibration of a melanin woman of all sorts. There were women that did not vote for her because Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, represents Becky with the good hair. I'll say it again. You were never going to vote for her no matter how experienced she was, because she represents the women that you actually think are better looking than you, because she's Jamaican and Indian. Everything about Kamala Harris is natural. Most of the things about you are not natural. When she flips her hair, that's natural to her. She's not behaving like anything other than herself. All of y'all that claim that you want to be so authentic, show us. Show us what a real melanated black woman can be and is. Not without the standard of other people and their perception. I don't care how bad somebody treats you. It doesn't change who you are. A lot of y'all that want to blame men and women in relationships for what you have become. So let me give you this analogy. If you took two, let's say three, 18-wheelers loaded with feces, and you pour those three 18-wheeler trucks of human or feces, it don't matter what kind of feces, and you pour it on a 14-karat diamond, does the diamond lose its value because of the feces? Or is it still a 14-karat gold diamond? And when you get to wiping all of that feces off of that diamond, it's still a 14-karat gold diamond. So you complaining about mistreatment has nothing to do with your value. But you would know that at a certain age. Our light-skinned sisters, still are hit with the colorism. Because you're the first one when you get mad to call a black dark-skinned pigmented woman a black bitch. You're the first one. You only are black about black women and black women when it's beneficial. This is why you have Ezeline Dotor, which is dark skinned, and Ezelie Frida, that is light skinned. And when you, as a black man or woman, don't have an appreciation for your pigment, your melanin, whatever shade it is, then you hide behind those insecurities in the practices. The reason why you get offended with me is not because I said something non-factual. It's that I'm a dark-skinned man in these Americas, and how dare I say or speak to you in such manner. It doesn't matter that I have the credentials. It doesn't matter that I have the reference. Only thing that matters to you is that I'm a dark-skinned black man, and how dare I say and put you in check. And I'm going to do it each and every time because I'm a Sagittarius. My moon is in Aries. And my rising sign is in Pisces. And my energy and my frequency and vibration has nothing to do with my black skin. Light-skinned Sagittarius, dark-skinned Sagittarius, we take great pleasure in putting people in their place. But the reason why it hits you so different, because I'm a dark-skinned Sag. The reason why it hits you so different is that my confidence is natural through my Sagittarius energy. But I'm a dark-skinned man. Black pigmentation. Black of the berry, sweet of the juice. And that's what bothers you. That's why you can't support me. It's not that I'm not factual. It's not that I'm not spitting knowledge, wisdom, understanding. It's not that I could never be your padrino. It's not that I could never be. But you already got a problem with a dark-skinned man. And how dare I turn you down? You's a black-ass man. And you turning me down? Because you have a false sense of security. I know what your problem is. It's not hoodoo. It's not voodoo. It's not Santeria. It's not economics. It's not racism in this country. It's people not acting their age. If everybody act their age, we would have been came out of this a long time ago. You know what the problem between Farrakhan and Malcolm X? Skin pigmentation. Malcolm X, how dare you talk that way as a dark-skinned man? It's more acceptable for Farrakhan to say, not that people don't like what Farrakhan say, but Farrakhan has that type of hair. He has that type of complexion. I'm just telling the truth. If you've been watching 5 minutes, 2 minutes, or 30 minutes, what lie have I told? What fact did I not speak? You think that business is down because of the economy. No, business is down because our people pick and choose depending on what we like about you. We're not like white people. We just deal with the white people deal with the collective of white supremacy. Black people have too many hang-ups. They want to worry about whether you are Jamaican, Nigerian, whether you come from Ethiopia, or whether you come from Ghana, whether you from the Americas. We don't see just melanin. And because you are a light-skinned woman, they're not going to support you. They will support somebody of a less quality and skill set because they have personal issues that they have not worked out. And they're of age that they should decipher. This is why you won't see me throwing work at certain people. That's why you don't see Apostle Ely in all these witch wars, conjure wars. Because I act my age. I'm going to say that again. The reason why you don't see I have never allowed a woman to get me involved in women's stuff. I have never seen so many men getting caught up in women's stuff. Women issues. Sir, do like the rest of us. Watch, but don't get involved. Why are you getting involved in women's cattiness? Their pettiness. That is not your place. If you are acting your age, you will not get involved in women's conversation. If you don't wear wigs, you don't wear dresses, bras, don't get pap smears, sir, why are you engaged in that conversation? If if you can't help the situation, why are you engaged? Especially if you're an older man. I've had many conjurers on this app try to get me involved in they female stuff. And I deviate. I navigate right through it. I'm a man. I don't have no business. I have no skin in the game. Will I tell the truth about the situation? Absolutely. But to get involved with y'all pettiness, because y'all won't act y'all age, that's y'all business. I'm a conjurer. I'm a mystic. I'm initiated. I'm crowned. All that. But at the end of the day, I'm a man. I have no business whatsoever up in any circumstance getting involved in women's situation. If I can't help you as a woman, no matter what your skin tone is, what am I talking about? I'm an aged man. I got a mama. I got sisters. I got female cousins. If I ain't trying to show you how to be better as a woman in relationship and trying to get you a high value man, or don't do that. Don't do that. Men are gonna see you a certain type of way. And because we are visual creatures, niece, don't do that. That gonna work against you. That's how you talk to women. For their betterment. Not to degrade them. When you got your grandma and your great grandma scrubbing the floor with you around young women, if they were doing that around age appropriate women, that's fine. But when your grandma out there trying to show your man that she can make it clap better than you can, sweetheart, that's not hoodoo. That's not voodoo. That's not Santeria. That's her not acting her age. Why she trying to show your man she still got it? Why she ain't trying to tell Mr. Earl that she still got it? She should be trying to get Mr. Earl check, not your husband check, not your boyfriend check. She out of order. Your dad over there trying to use his Social Security check to pull your woman. That's not hoodoo. That's not voodoo. That's not Santeria. That's not Lakumi. You're still developing your manhood. Now he's trying to destabilize you as a man, instead of trying to strengthen you and trying to show you how to make it as a man in these stages of your life. No, he gonna take his stocks, he gonna take his credit, and he gonna take his Social Security check and his pension check, and he gonna try to destroy that image or that likeness of you in the eyes of that woman. These people, certain men, are dangerous to our community because these people are not acting their age. I have no business trying to flex on my sons. I have a 33-year-old, no 32 because they don't know. A 30-year-old and a 20-year-old, 20-something-year-old. I think he's 25. I'm not going to take what I've accomplished. If I'm not going to help them, I'm not going to hurt them. I act my age. When they hard-headed and want to do it their way, I let them go ahead and do their thing. I don't use my magic. I don't use a spoken word. I don't use conjure. I don't talk to my cauldrons. I don't go to the cemetery. I'm not at Crossworld. I'm not at the ocean or the river trying to do anything to them. Because they are still in the age where they got to learn for themselves. That's what's being a man. My thing in a nutshell, sir and ma'am, you will have so less of a problem. You think that your girlfriends and the people on the outside are a threat to your growth, your honor, and your dignity. And it's about the women in your life. Your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother. If they're acting their age, they're going to strengthen you. If your grandfather, your father, your great-grandfather are acting their age, sir, they're going to strengthen you. Your ancestry is going to be strong. But when they're not acting their age, they're not going to pass down traditions. They're not going to pass down knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Instead of your generation getting stronger and wiser and more proficient, it's getting weaker. Because the people that have that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, they're not acting their age. At 52, I'm sharing more than I ever shared. You know why? Because I'm getting older. And these younger people need to know certain things. I give out more free information than most people because I'm getting older. And just like people poured into me when I was young, I know the advantages that I have lived. I live a charmed life. I understand when you got elders or leaders that are pouring into you. Always pay homage. Never get beside yourself, because they're going to be able to show you, enlighten you in ways that you ain't lived long enough to know. When my spiritual dad was talking to me and teaching me, he said, boy, that's how older people talk. He said, boy, I done forgot more than you to learn. He said, what I'm going to teach you ain't in no books. This is real conscious. A lot of y'all will never defeat somebody like me, because what you learn is from regurgitation of books and videos. They're not guided by your ancestors. My spirituality is rooted in real conscience, real mysticism. And that's why I have no problem acting my age. If you were really trying to learn real magic and hoodoo, you would be a listener and not a talker. You're accustomed of being around people that you can flex on, but you're uncomfortable around people you can't flex on. Certain men, If you're not acting your age, you should be ashamed of yourself. If you don't hear from nobody else, the chief apostle, certain man, if you're not acting your age, you should be ashamed of yourself. No matter how the color wig. And I'm not opposed to women look good, because I love the way Patti LaBelle look. But the difference between you and Patti LaBelle, she acts her age. You don't see Patti LaBelle out there with young men. Diana Ross, she act her age. Still sexy, still elegant, but she act her age. You know who don't act their age? Cher. What's her name? Cher. Always with younger men. I'm just using an example. Cougars, they're not shamed, but they should be shamed. You have no business being in competition with younger men, with younger women. That's not being young. That's being out of order. And you're there just to ruin their life. Because you can't mean them any good. Because you're supposed to be mothers and guides, not their lovers. I'm not going to sleep and have a relationship with no 20-year-old. We don't have nothing in common. And we all do some things in life, but I'm not going to ruin your life. I'm not going to be a staple in your life. If you want to learn something from me, fine. But trying to build a life with a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, and a 40-year-old, I'm even iffy about 50-year-old, because some of them ain't acting the age. I can't even do business with you correctly for you trying to be a young thing. Instead of you telling me what kind of remedies that you don't come up with to make sure our bodies are protected for our age group. I can't even get you to make me some chicken noodle soup from scratch. You just like the young woman. You going into the grocery store getting a can of Campbell soup. No, I won't. All right there, Kingmaker. I want chicken noodle soup from scratch. Cornbread. I'm 53. That's what I'm looking for. You in there talking about what you fit to warm up in the microwave. Is that microwavable lasagna? I need me some biscuits from scratch. I need some lima beans from scratch. I don't understand when you at a certain age and I'm telling you I like salmon and you got to take me out to a restaurant because you know how to prepare it yourself. I'm offended if you ask me. We should be sharing recipes about what type of saps we gonna put on our knees to keep our blood pressure regulated. And what's a good time to have sex so we can still get our rest? If we not talking about how we gonna make a dollar bill in order to make our life easier and more convenient as we get older, what are we talking about? You want to have a conversation with me about your eyelashes? Eyelashes? Do you not use a thermometer? Can you check my temperature? Can you bring down my fever? Can you get this sickness and cold out of my body? You want to take me to the ER just like the young woman? No, I ain't got time. You know, you have not shown me enough with your level of experience that you know how to be a good steward over your inheritance. See, there's certain things that real grown men and women are looking for in women and men, whether it's in relationship, business relationship, or even spiritual camaraderie. No, no, ma'am. Can you get my gut right? Do you know what type of herbs and spices that you can prepare a soup for me so I can be strengthened and I can get back out there and fight the good fight of faith? Do you know how to help me recover from my wounds rapidly? I'm a 5 sign, so I'm in a rush about everything. Do you have the patience to understand economically that I have to be in position to be a provider and a protector? You see my shoulder hurt. This is why I go off on the women in my church. How sorry they are. They are of age to know certain things and to be able to midwife medicine women and give me shit. I had one of my members give me some shit that she ordered. I can go to my mama right now. I can go to my sister right now. My sister on my dad's side or my mama's side, and they can doctor on me. They can get that cold out my body. They can get that fever down. While you worried about your name brand dress, I'm a warrior. I'm a fighter. I'm a protector. So I'm gonna get in battles and I need to recover swiftly. I gotta get out here and make that money. So what do you know? What can you administer to me as an aged woman, as an aged man, that can fortify my tabernacle? When you ain't talking like that, at a certain age, I'm not even trying to hear you. My Cassandra, my Capricorn said, wish you were closer. Girl. Thank you, sweetheart. You can't make a soup from scratch. And you how old? You how old? And you want me to believe that you do hoodoo? I don't believe it. Because you got to work with the herbs. You got to know what type of herb do what. That's why I love them Chinese movies. Them women, they may be warriors, but they know how to heal their man. When their man come from a battle and he coughing up blood, she know how to stop that blood. She know how to give him certain things that gonna strengthen him and cause him his organs to be strengthened that he can recover. What do you know? What do you know? At your age, what do you know? Do you even know how to make $1 out of 15 cents? Do you know how to stretch things? Do you know how to be a covering? Do you know how to be a strong defense? Do you know how to make war? That's what I'm looking for. Melanie. She can be successful and sit on her throne without not trying to sit on my throne. Because you got women that are truly have power and authority. But their throne ain't good enough. They want to sit in the man's throne. You don't want to be queen. You don't want to be empress. You want to be a king. You want to walk around with your phallus and direct energy, frequency, and vibration. Because you feel like you're greater. I'm not looking for a woman that's confused. I understand feminine energy and masculine energy and orgone energy. You're trying to be just as much man as I am. And you will never be. You can have masculine energy. That doesn't make you who I am. I'm crowned my faithful Oya. And I'm not trying to be a woman. Majority of the spirits that are in my spiritual courts are female. The reason why I keep winning wars, because the most powerful spirits that I have, the only spirit that I have that's male that rules over me is my voodoo spirit. He's male. But Oya rules my head. And powerful men and women know how to work together. He don't cause her no problems, and she don't cause him no problems. King Solomon caused Queen Sheba problems, and Queen Sheba did not. Why do us black people, when we have authority, we don't know how to walk in harmony? Why we can't war together? Why we can't fight together? Why we can't strengthen one another? Why we can't teach other how to become better at what we do? A lioness can be the hunter, be fierce. But when she's up under attack, that male lion is coming to rescue her. She know how to step back when that male lion. She going out there, she going after elephants, giraffes, crocodile. A female lion is fierce. But when it comes down to her being on the threat, she know how to back up. And she don't feel less than a lioness. Because she's not less than a lion. She gonna let that male lion handle that. He's stronger than her. But she's a better hunter. But he's a better defender. They work in harmony together. You don't have to play weak. You don't have to play vulnerable. You don't have to play defenseless. I don't have no respect for that shit. My grandmother was nothing to be played with, and my mother is nothing to be played with. My uncles are fighters. But if I had to pick and choose who I would call, it would be my auntie. I've seen my auntie knock men out. That lady, she a Scorpio. That lady knows she can fight. She got older and calmer. Because she's 70-something. I believe my auntie would take her oxygen machine and try to breathe and whoop your ass. That's just how much of a fighter she is. And she always been like that. She talk more now than she ever did. Because of her age. She knows she don't have what she used to have. But you call my auntie in her younger days, you, sir, will wear a well-whooped ass. My uncles told me my uncles them have never chastised me because my mama whooped my ass. And boy, she can whoop some ass. That Virgo, and especially when she was younger, my mother had the strength of a man. Oh my God. Them women in my family was never rescued. But when their brothers came around, they stepped back. Being a strong woman doesn't mean you being rude and disrespectful. Being strong, whether it's economics, education, or whatever, we are a team. That's what the symbolization of the Ankh, the masculine energy and the feminine energy. That's our power. And until the black woman comes on the line and at her age, we're going to be continuously defeated in areas that we should be conquering. When it bothers you that a dark skinned man is walking in authority and he has never did anything to you, never violated you, never disrespected you, but it just bothers you because he knows what he's talking about, that is not a him thing. That is a you thing. And the only time that you feel like a mother and a superior mother over your children is when their father is failing his responsibility. More women fight against the men when it comes to child rearing because you don't know your place. You don't realize what kind of energy you're giving off. And you teach your daughters to undermine men. You're not acting your age. Submissiveness has nothing to do with weakness. I don't need you to submit to a goddamn thing. I need you to follow rules and regulations. That's all I need you. I need you to be a team player. I need you to be able to hold that bull. I like what Jay-Z said about Beyonce. He said, what's better than 1 million billionaire? 2 billionaires. When you don't see what's your image and likeness as equal footing, and the only reason why you can feel comfortable and secure with a man that you got to keep pulling the rug from under his foot, you're not a real woman. A man does not have to decrease a woman and vice versa. What's wrong with you? If more women act their age and become the crones and the elders of these communities, we can see some real power. But she can't become the crone because she's trying to be the virgin. She can't become the crone because she's trying to be virgin. She don't even want to be the maiden. I hope something I said, and I really appreciate the gifts, because I'm going to post it on my YouTube page. I'm disappointed that I have aged women around me and they don't know shit. I should not be getting soup from Panera Bread. If Minister Mario, son of Achosi, was here, he could take care of me better than these women, because he's going to make everything from scratch. He reminds me of a modern day Gideon. He reminds me of Jacob, a man that knows how to nourish. When I lost Minister Mario, I really lost something, because none of these women, they of age, but they are not medicine women. I would have to turn to my mother, my sister, and my female cousins. And they have been around me for years, and they have no shame. Because I didn't raise them. Their mothers did. Their mothers did. And if your mother is not a real woman and she don't act her age, she's not gonna teach you. I miss certain saints that left my church because their mother raised them. And I know a home cooked meal when I taste one. I know real country when I taste it. Having pride in being a man or woman acting your age, it's an honor. I love to see older men and women that still got their stuff together. Well, I don't care if you white, black, Brazilian. When I see older men and older women still representing themselves in their age category. When I see mothers in the church still wearing their heels because they took care of themselves. And still be able to give knowledge and understanding out of their age group. I like that kind of stuff. I love to see an aged woman wearing her silver hair. I remember I met Minister Mario, son of a Chelsea. We was down there on South Beach. And this white woman was walking down the boardwalk. And I was just staring at her. When I say this bitch was bad, she was put together. That's the glory of an aged woman. When you see your Angela Bassett's, these women are taking care of themselves. They're aging gracefully. And they're still acting their age. It's not nothing like seeing an old bitch trying to dress wrong. It's ridiculous. And if you're trying to dress wrong, that means you can't teach me or no other woman anything. Because your mind is not in the right place. I just was staring. Mario said, "What you looking at?" I said, look at her. He like to see well-dressed women too. I said, look at her. Ma was together. Age appropriate, but together. Fierce, but together. I'm 52 years old, and I got sandy, mixed color hair. You got me by 25 years, and your shit black. That's why Shirley C look ridiculous to me. Utterly ridiculous. We are copper tone people. Copper makes us, and we take them as supplements, or we wear copper like I do. You got jet black hair, and you pushing 90. Somewhere you don't have the fountain of youth. I look at Diana Ross with black hair so different than I look at Shirley Caesar. Patti LaBelle her hair is slayed. But these women project their age. It's different when you are aged woman or man and you're not projecting your age. And that's why every woman and man cannot do what other men and women do. Because I'm never gonna not act my age. I'm gonna always stay in my lane. to the day God take me away from him. When I was my 20s, I promise you, sir and ma'am, I was acting 20. When I was in my 30s, I promise you, I like this version of myself because I'm not so quick to go to war. I'm not so quick to clap back. This age of me is more able to pick my battles. What's important. I like being powerful, but knowing how to create an impact. I like being able to utilize what I have to offer to advance our people. I love the type of wisdom that I have now and the experience I have now, that I can be a more of an asset to melanated people. I love that. That nigga that I was at 20, that nigga caused problems. He was always flexing at the wrong time, at the wrong occasion. He was flexing just because he could flex. He was flexing trying to prove a point when there was no point to be proven. Grand Rising. This version of me is calculated. This version of me is always on point. This version of me, always relevant, useful, resourceful, honored. I know how to conduct myself. I know how to act my age. It's not appealing, young man and young woman, that you're trying to act. And that's what my oldest son, he was always trying to act older than what he was. Whether you're acting your age young and you're trying to be older, and that's what my spiritual dad told me about me. He said, act your age. You're not an old ass man like me. Admire me, learn from me, but act your age. People that are going to learn concepts from me that are young, I'm still going to tell them what he told me. Act your age. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your youth. Be wise, be mindful, be aware, but enjoy your youth so you don't have no regrets. That's how I know that the people in my life that trained me had my best interest at heart. That's why I'm able to tell y'all. I've never seen my grandmother compete with her daughters because she had the money. I've never seen my grandmother outbid my mother's and them boyfriends or husband. I've never seen that. When the auntie is competing with the niece, there's a problem, y'all. There is a problem. When auntie is competing with niece, there's a problem. When uncle is competing with nephew, there is a problem. I remember me and my cousins and / uncle. There was this place in the area, was a juke joint. And we wanted to get it because we still was not of age to even go into this bar. But you know, when you're young, you only want to go in there because they tell you can't. You don't even know what's in there. You just want to do it because they say you can't do it. So me and my cousin them were sneaking around because we knew my uncles them hang out around there. So we was trying to make sure they weren't there, right? And on the place, they had this big dome light on the side. And I remember thinking that the coast was clear. And when I walked out, and they was following me, I walked out in the dome light. My uncles and them came out the bar. And they saw us. And we stopped in our tracks. And you know what my uncles and them said? Oh, we got to start coming here. Because if they trying to come here, it's time for us to move on. I still think about that today. When you see the young coming for that position, it's time for you to move your ass on. That's why when you act your age, you're constantly growing and developing. They didn't sit there and say, oh, you ain't got no business out here. They already knew we shouldn't have been out there. But now we trying to get there. When you see other young people in the Ifa and Voodoo and Santeria trying to aspire to serve, it's time to move your ass on and give them space to grow. That's why I'm telling you, it's not the ATRs. It's people not acting their age. They're trying to hold down spaces and places that they have outgrown. All I do for young people is give not knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and try to make their life makes more sense. If you in my age bracket, I'm here to make money, to make my life more comfortable. If you're older than me, then you should be pouring knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in me. If you can't do that, you're like salt that has lost its savor. You're not good for nothing. I'm not going to disrespect you, but don't look for me to ask you no question. That's my money woman. Do you understand that? All I got time to do as a retired man is to grow my money, my references, my connections, my credit, to put my children in better position, to put my nieces and nephews in position. I was talking to my sister, and I want to get her daughter in a better position. I asked my sister for permission. I never overstepped my siblings with their children. I asked for permission. I got the money, I got the anointing, I got the skills, and I got connection. All you got to do is obey and follow instruction from Uncle. And you still gonna act your age. You still young. But I can help you get further. Because your mother, my sister, is younger than me. I'm the reason why your mother is in her position. And I'm here to help you. See, when you get to a certain age, you should be helping your family tree. You should not be weakening your family tree. You should become more of an asset, not a liability. And she was like, my niece did my hair. And she said, I was to pay her. I pay her before she do my hair. Just like I pay for my food before I get it. And she said, what this for? I said, this is for my hair. I said, if I get down sick or something and you want to do my hair for free, that's fine. But as long as I'm up and able to do what I need to do, I'm going to pay you. You got your daughter to raise. And I'm going to show you how to make money. Because I'm older. And since I'm retired, I ain't got nothing but time and opportunity. Let me school you. Let me show you how to do. Let me teach you what the elders taught me. And I'm still going to act my age, and I'm going to still demand her to act her age. I don't need her to act like me. I need her to be her. She a Cancer. I hope that this really helped many of you guys. I hope that you did not take an offense and understand why it's so relevant for us to act our age. I was listening to Nicole's video, and this is what I love about Nicole. She's a pretty dark-skinned woman. But I love the fact that she went back to her mother and said to her mother, this is what I was rushing to. See, when you were younger, you don't know what you run into. I love the fact because I've had my sons to come back to tell me, Dad, all you were trying to do is help. But I realize you young. You think you smarter than me. That's fine. I done been there. I thought I was smarter than my mama. I thought I was smarter than God. I'm a Sagittarius. I don't have no reason to lie. I thought I was smarter than God because I was made in His image and in His likeness. And I had the power. You couldn't tell me nothing. Ask my mama. She'll tell you. She loved telling them stories. Couldn't tell me nothing. And when you get older, you go back to your parents and you explain. And I told her, and that's why I like what Nicole did. When you can explain to your parents, not only that you were wrong, your state of mind. And when I say thank you, I can explain why I'm saying thank you. A lot of y'all ain't at the age that you can really say, I'm sorry, because you don't know why you sorry. You don't know you wrong. But you can't explain it to the person why you so sorry. Why you feel you owe me an apology. You can't articulate it because you can't act your age. When I told my mother how I gave her a hard time, I can explain that shit. I know what I was saying thank you for. When I tell my uncles, no, thank you, because I look at my life now at 52 while I'm able to stand. And I know that did not come because of me. It was because people were pouring into me. That's my level of gratitude. That's my level of appreciation. That's why I can venerate my ancestors accurately and with proper homage. That's why I don't burn bridges. You cannot get Chief Apostle Samuel Lee Jr. to burn a bridge that he has utilized to get him to where he is. Do I agree with everything my Padrino does? But he has brought me across a many bridges. Some of y'all ain't acting your age, and you out here burning bridges, and you at a certain age. Why do you have them torches in your hand? Why do you have them matches? Why you got them lighters? You never know when you gonna need that person again. Where is the wisdom? Why you can't teach your young people how to play chess? But I know why. Because you ain't acting your age. Therefore, you don't know how to play chess. You barely know how to play checkers. I can't send nobody to your old ass and you guide them correctly because you with the same foolishness that they with, and you ain't ashamed. When a younger person come to me, I'm gonna give them insight. I'm gonna evaluate their situation and realize where they at, and I'm gonna counsel them accordingly. The way I counsel an older person is not the way I counsel a younger person. You ain't got no wisdom because you ain't acting your age. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. You gonna always be able to come. I don't care when I do decide, because I'm retired. I do stuff when I want to, how I want to. If I'm this bad at 52, I could imagine me being 70. I done prepared to be where I am. And I prepared to make sure I have the necessary tools in my house to help me to weather these storms. Because I'm getting older. And these people going to keep poisoning the food, poisoning the water. I ain't got time to complain. Thank you for the roses. I don't have time to complain about that. I have to be prepared. And when you're an older man or an older woman and you don't have a recipe book, shame on you. When you don't have information to pass down to the young, that's not other people's problem. That's your family tree. That's your family tree. And you worried about trickle economics with the government, why aren't you trickling down your economics in your family tree? Why? My mother had A1 credit. Not because of her, but because of my grandmother. My mother had the credit. She can go and buy a car. That's the kind of stuff my mother had. My mother always was mad because she could never get food stamps and welfare and all that stuff. Because my grandmother was always setting her daughters up. That's when you trickle down economics. When you're not afraid that your nephew got good credit. A savings account. My grandmother always taught us to have more than one bank account. I always had more than one bank account. And I always was taught to have some cash money. My family believe in burying money for a rainy day. And when they got busted by the federal government and all of the accounts were frozen, my family was able to operate because they were taught how to make it. When my mother could not access none of the accounts, that didn't mean we couldn't live. We got the shovels and we began to dig. See, that's why you can't weather certain storms, because your elders are not teaching you how to weather storms. Things may come in your life, but because you got the right teaching and they act in their age, they're going to show you how to endure hardness as a good soldier. And that's why we were able to maintain. Money was buried in different locations. Different family members had money because all of us had the same teaching. So money was coming from under the earth, left and right. Fuck that they froze our accounts. We ain't lose nothing. From what they took, that's one thing. But our lifestyle and our living, we were sitting on the floor pulling $100 bills apart. Because it had been on the earth so long, it was mildew. You're not ready. Your ancestors ain't teaching you how to deal when the enemy come in like a flood. Your ancestors not preparing you for the life that they're living. That's why I think you're stupid. That's why I think you are unlearned. Because you're too old not to be able to teach your daughters and sons how to make it. I'm always stepping in and making it easier for my children. Not avoiding their responsibility and not avoiding their growth as a man. But I'm the older one. I told my sons, I said, you're going to have a chance to do it by yourself, for real. Because one day, I'm going to be dead. So, since I'm not dead, stop pretending that I am dead, trying to prove all these dumbass points. Stop walking around here like you fatherless, trying to prove your points. Because one day, I'm not going to be here. And you need to be in position to stand your ground. Because I done whooped a whole lot of people's ass. And they would love to take a chunk out of your ass. So hopefully you're in position by the time I ascend. While you out here playing games. Because I don't play the radio. Your dad is a Sagittarius. Your dad, Moon, is an Aries. And his rising sign, Pisces. I don't play. Prepare your children for the forecast. Prepare your loved ones for the storms when you're not here. When you can't hold up that banner no longer. When you can't hold off that water no longer. Make sure people are prepared to step in position when you're no longer here. Act your age. God bless you.